All right, the lineup for tonight will be Sheldon Pearson and James Harris on the front row, Kevin Ward and Brock Whitehead on the second row, Richard Fornshell, Trey Whitehead on the third row, Kevin Kerchar and A.J. Godsey on the fourth row, Derek Wynn and Garth Snyder rounding out the top 10. Then Stephen Madden and Harley Barletta, 11th and 12th. 13th is William Mann Jr., Christian Wilcox is 14th, Jonathan Diamond 15th, Robert Wynn is 16th, Josh Cadill is 17th, 18th is Robert Wynn Jr., Stephen Pless is 19th. Interesting that the father-son team there is starting nose to tail. Trying to get a little bit of a look at Robert Wynn's car. We might have to wait till they start rolling. Robert Wynn Sr., I do know, is running a Metallica paint scheme here tonight. And I absolutely, running in the truck series with him previously, absolutely love running around it just because he's got some really cool Metallica album paint schemes. Looks like just about everybody is taken to the grid. Looking at Stephen Pless, currently got one car starting from pit road. And as usual, Robert Wynn's Metallica paint scheme does not fail to be awesome. Gotta love some Metallica paint schemes. Alright, one pace lap. They'll go green next time by. ARCA cars, 50 laps, and who knows what's going to happen here. Could we see another Daytona race tonight that goes green to checkers? Will we see the big one on lap one? What? Anything can happen here. And some guys that have been out, haven't been racing recently, back out on track. James Harris starting on the front row, looking to make a splash on his return to racing here. And these cars, it's worth noting, are not as wide as the current Gen Cup cars. They can easily go 3 wide on the straightaways with room to spare for a fourth car. I would not expect anything less than 4 wide coming down to the line if it's still close. And based on the way these guys are practicing, I expect it to be very, very close here tonight. All right, buckle in, take a deep breath because it's about to get crazy as the Fast and Fun ARCA Series begins their new season here tonight at Daytona. Coming out of turn 4, the pace car is going to drop. There he goes. Now we just wait for the green flag. Barney the flag man waves the green flag. We are down and away from Daytona. And as with the regular Cup cars we just saw, it takes a lap to a lap and a half to get these ARCA cars up to speed. Derek Wynn started from pit road. He is now coming out on track in the 11 car. He will not have the draft. Out of turn 2, down the back straightaway for the first time. Everybody playing nice so far. James Harris on the top, Sheldon Pearson on the bottom. Little bit of wiggles out of everybody. Unlike the Cup cars, these do not have as much downforce. They move around a lot more. When they get 3 wide, things will get very interesting as you watch them bobble. Coming around to complete lap number 1. A small group has broken off the back. It looks like it looked like a group was breaking away. Dropping back a little bit. Robert Wynn Sr. up on the high side. But they are staying with the main pack. They're not going to try and break off. They are just hanging out at the tail end of the field, trying to save it until the end. And 3 wide on the second lap into turn 3. Trey Whitehead up top. Brock Whitehead in the middle. Sheldon Pearson on the bottom. They come off turn 4. They get back to 2 wide for the moment. AJ Gotze looks like he wants to go to the high side, doesn't make the move. It's 3 wide back behind him. As Christian Wilcox, up by the wall, was trying to make his way forward, lost all of his momentum. He slots back into place. He's got teammate William Mann Jr. right behind him. Throughout the field, still 2 wide, 3 wide in the middle, down the back straightaway. The 81 of Harley Barletta way up by the wall, trying to make sure he does not get caught. Everybody keeping it going straight, but a lot racier in this one. Everybody still side by side all the way around the track. Alan, I have no idea why he started from pit road. If we get a chance to talk to him later, I will be sure to ask him. James Harris continuing to lead. Trey Whitehead in second. AJ Gotze in third. Well, no, we've got one coming straight up the middle. That's the 91. That is Kevin Kerchar to the lead. He's trying to hold on to it. He came straight up the middle and made that work. Most of the time you go up the middle, it's considered the sucker hole and you go backwards, but he had the momentum and the side draft to make it work. A little bit further back, we saw that group that was hanging out towards the back of the field, all still within drafting range. Robert Wynn Sr., Robert Wynn Jr., Derek Wynn much further back. Stephen Pless did not join the race. Not sure what's going on with him. Josh Cadell also in that back group. These guys just stay in single file, and we've got a wreck in turn 3. Caution. Several guys get very evasive very, very quickly. Let's see what happened. See if we can find what happened. Looking at, Kevin Kerchar. James Harris and Kevin Kerchar get together. Let's see if we can get a better look at that. Kevin Kerchar collecting a lot of cars as he goes around. James just got a little bit into the nose. You cannot bump draft these cars. And several cars managed to get by, but 3 cars end up in the wall with heavy, heavy damage. Harley Barletta currently in the lead. James Harris second. Trey Whitehead third. Brock Whitehead fourth. Sheldon Pearson in fifth. First caution of the night. Literally, second race of the night at Daytona. And this is the first caution of the night. So what are we? 5 laps, 75 laps at Daytona and no cautions. Truly an impressive feat out of a lot of guys. All right, seeing the damaged cars come to pit road. Derek Wynn trying to limp his car around. Kevin Ward heavily damaged, trying to limp his car around as well. Garth Snyder trying to limp to pit road. Trey Whitehead, AJ Gotze, Kevin Kerchar, Robert Wynn Sr. and Jr. both on pit road. So a lot of guys coming to pit road having to get those repairs in early. And Harley Barletta to the lead. He said he was going to dominate both races tonight. Led the first part of the Cup race. Couldn't get it done, though. Incident, and went to the back after the first green flag stop. He went back and managed to recover all the way up to 5th. But rough night so far. He is out front now. Will he be able to hold on to that? Garth Snyder, Kevin Ward managed to make it to pit road. Derek Wynn does not go to pit road. Kevin Kerchar has been to pit road and is back out, fully repaired car. looks like, let's try and get a look. James Harris has a little, not much damage to the right front. It looks like the 22 of Brock Whitehead caught a little bit on the left side. Nothing significant, though. Looking through the field to see if we see any more damage on any of these cars. Several guys had to go off track to save it. Robert Wynn ducks back down pit road and Robert Wynn Jr. also ducking back down pit road. This is probably to top off on fuel or make sure they restart in the back of the field. No, they're going to dive in. They are going to just top off on fuel. Little fuel strategy at play as the lights go off on the pace car and they get ready to go green. Harley Barletta and James Harris on the front row. Sheldon Pearson, Brock Whitehead on the second row. William Mann Jr., Christian Wilcox on the third row. Then it's Stephen Madden, Richard Fornshell on the fourth row. Jonathan Diamond, Josh Cadill on the fifth row. As they come out of the turn and get ready to go green again. Nope, sorry, that was out of turn 2. Trey Whitehead currently in 11th. Kevin Kerchar back to 12th. Derek Wynn now in 14th. AJ Gotze at 12th. Kevin Kerchar in 13th. Derek Wynn 14th. Garth Snyder 15th. Robert Wynn Jr. in 16th. Robert Wynn Sr. in 17th. Kevin Ward in 18th. Pace car about to drop off out of turn number 4 here. Green flag back in the air on lap 8, beginning of lap 9 here. And again, lap to a lap and a half to get them up to full speed. Probably see a few guys try and make a move through the field as they come up to speed. That front group trying to stay close, get the side draft, carry as much momentum as is possible. And that back group, Robert Wynn, Sr., Jr., and Kevin Ward, all, and it looks like this time Kevin Kerchar hanging out back as well, just trying to stay safe as James Harris gets a nose ahead of Harley Barletta. In these cars, that bottom line is faster through the turns, but that top line carries so much momentum on the straightaway that these guys will be making moves on the high side. And as we saw Kerchar do earlier in the race, we'll see some guys actually be able to make it work coming up the middle. And another note, as we see a little bumping there, these cars, as you heard Christian talk about in the pre-race, these cars not good at bump drafting. That nose is sloped down, and if you get onto the bumper even an inch out of place, you'll lift up the car in front of you. Bump drafting highly, highly frowned upon in these ARCA cars, which means you have got to use the air to your advantage and make every move count. And you see that back group, the back 5 cars have spaced themselves out. Kevin Kerchar, actually starting with Trey Whitehead. So Trey Whitehead, Kevin Kerchar, Kevin Ward, Robert Wynn Jr., and Robert Wynn Sr. all staying single file with a couple of car links between them just to stay safe and maintain the draft. Watch for those guys come to the front at the end of this one, possibly pull off the win. Look for one of those 5 guys up battling for the win on that final lap. Robert Wynn, possibly Sr., possibly the best strategist in the field. Harley Barletta all alone on the high side, trying to get back around James Harris, or at least fall into line. Drops down low right on the side of Brock Whitehead, trying to get that side draft working. Overheating, not as big of an issue in the ARCA cars as it is in the Cup. Caution! Looks like Sheldon Pearson involved. And I have no idea. He just disappeared. It looks like he may have... He had a blink and somebody got into him. Let's see if we can see from Robert Wynn, Sr. There is Sheldon right up in front of him. And he just was stopped in the middle of the track. Trying to see where it all began to go wrong for Sheldon here. Yeah, he had just blinked out and disappeared, reappeared in a really bad position. Second caution of the night coming on lap 12. Derek Wynn now up to 11th. Let's see if we can get that word with him real quick. Well, let's make sure he doesn't head down pit road here. We'll see if we can catch him as he gets into his pit stall. Don't want to interrupt when his crew chief is counting down to him. Apparently his strategy paid off, though, because he is now picking up positions. Hey, Derek, this is Doug in the booth. You got me? Derek Wynn, this is Doug in the broadcast booth. You got me?
Yeah.
Hey, man. Getting asked in the chat, what happened at the start? Why did you start from pit road? Safety measure or just something else?
I had to pee. And then everyone joined, and I had like a minute left, and then it went to 0.
Well, that will explain it. It looks like it did pay off for you so far, though.
Yeah, thankfully.
Well, you are moving your way back up, man. Good luck, and we might see that might have been the smartest strategy of the night, buddy.
Yep, on accident.
All right, good luck, man.
I appreciate it.
Well, there you... The Fast and Fun guys definitely are, are an interesting bunch. If you were here for the Variety Series, you know that they had some very interesting nicknames for the season, and we won't get into repeating all of those, but definitely some entertaining moments last season, especially involving William Mann. Harley Barletta, James Harris continuing to battle up front, but AJ Godsey, who started back in 8th place, has now worked his way up into this battle. Now, do expect to see James Harris joining the BRR Truck Series next weekend, and that could, we're starting to see more and more crossover between Outlaw, BRR, and the Fast and Fun leagues. So AJ Godsey, Harley Barletta runs in the Fast and Fun Cup Series, and here they are. They're also in BRR. Here they are in the ARCA Series, and a lot of new names out there as well. But definitely some interesting stories are going to come out of this, and hasn't happened yet, but a grudge from Saturday night could carry over to Sunday night. Kevin Kerchar in the 91, looking to see Kevin Kerchar not available to talk to. Wanted to see if we could get a word with him, but he is not on the radio channel, so hopefully we can get a word with him after the race. Everybody stacked back up. It'll be Harley Barletta and AJ Godsey on the front row, William Mann and James Harris on the second row, Garth Snyder and Christian Wilcox on the third row, Kevin Kerchar, Trey Whitehead on the fourth row, and Kevin Ward, Brock Whitehead on the fifth row. As the pace car drops off, green flag back in the air. They are down and away. Now, AJ and Harley Barletta, very similar racing styles. And two guys that have been racing together for well over a year. I guarantee you we're going to see, there he goes. AJ jumps to the high side, helps Harley get the draft. Will he jump back down? No, he's not going to jump back down to the bottom. So James Harris jumps to the lead out of turn number 2. Don't expect that to last, though. Harley Barletta and AJ Godsey work really well together. But James Harris has William Mann right there with him and the 53 of Christian Wilcox. Those three are teammates here tonight. You see those special 9/11 tribute paint schemes here tonight. So and several more in the field. So shout out to these guys. And now AJ Godsey has scored in the lead as they cross the start-finish line. Leading a lap, getting those bonus points could be key late in the season. Little help from Harley there. Kevin Kerchar starting to work his way back towards the front as well after that early incident. And we've got a power move back there. That was Richard, no, that was not. That actually was Derek Wynn making that power move to the bottom there. Looking to try and find the fastest line and pick up some speed. Meanwhile, the inside line seems to have broken up just a little bit. Now we've got the 33 dropping to the bottom there. That is Trey Whitehead. Oh, we've got a wreck back behind. Caution. Let's see what happened with this. Let's take it back just a little bit. Looks like we caught the wreck in progress. And looks like Kevin Ward and the 15 got to push, and Kevin Ward went up over. He does stick the landing and facing the right way. Several cars involved in that, though. Looks like Derek Wynn got involved in that. We'll have to give Kevin a... Oh, as everybody tried to check up, several more cars get involved. Derek gets caught in that. Sheldon Pearson takes the brunt of that incident as well. Several car incident and third caution of the night. And as we mentioned, these ARCA cars, not as much downforce. They are faster, but not nearly as much downforce. Those cars get a lot more squirrely. Biggest mover so far has been Christian Wilcox. Started in 14th, now up into 4th. Sheldon Pearson, Kevin Ward, both on pit road for repairs. Expect to see Derek Wynn come down, trying to look at his car. Yep, he has got some damage as well. He'll probably be to pit road. Looks like Josh Cadill has some problems as well. He is limping around trying to stay with this pack. He might actually be waiting on Derek to catch back up for scoring purposes. Everybody's going to go back down pit road except for Brock Whitehead. He stays out. He pitted on lap 13. So just 6 laps ago. Stephen Madden stays out. Jonathan Diamond stays out. And you know what? We can talk to Brock. Hey, Brock, this is Doug. You got me?
Yep.
Hey, man. So you lead the charge of guys not going to pit road. You only pitted 6 laps ago. Fuel strategy, tire strategy, or what's the plan here?
Yeah, I'm just fuel strategy, really. There ain't no... I've already taken tires once, and that's all you got to really take them. So I'm going to try and save fuel, and I'm going to try maybe one pit, but I don't think it'll work. I think I'll pit one more time, but... Yeah, you said I pit 6 laps ago, so there ain't no reason to go ahead and pit again.
Well, now you're going to be at the front, obviously be able to avoid the chaos. Are you going to try and stay out front, or you mentioned trying to save some fuel? Are you going to try and drop back and get back in the draft?
Yeah, I might get behind one car and try and save. I'm not going to drop too far back, but yeah, I'll probably drop behind one car.
All right, man. Well, good luck. Hopefully it pays off.
Yep, thank you.
All right, that is Brock Whitehead currently in the lead, and one of just a few cars that stay out on track after that incident. Brock Whitehead, Stephen Madden, Jonathan Diamond, the only 3 cars to stay on track. James Harris leads the charge of cars that come off of pit road. Then William Mann Jr., Trey Whitehead now going to pit road. Christian Wilcox in 6th, Richard Fornshell in 7th, Garth in 8th, AJ Godsey in 9th, Harley Barletta in 10th. Looks like they're going to go around one more time. Robert Wynn Jr. and Sr. come off of pit road 12th and 13th respectively. Will we see them duck back down to top off this time as they did on the last pit stop? You heard Brock say he might be able to do this on a single pit stop, so everybody that's been to pit road might be able to go the distance from here. And looks like, I cannot tell who that was at the back. Looked like they were trying to run the road course and kind of missed. Oh, that was Robert Wynn Jr. Right behind Dad. So Brock Whitehead has the lead, Stephen Madden second, Jonathan Diamond third. Now we're going to watch and see if anybody comes back down pit road here. And you know these 3 that stayed out, they are cutting the engine. They are doing everything they can to save fuel here as they get ready to go to the green. Brock felt like he would be able to use that track position to his advantage, get behind one car, and just draft his way. As they get 1 to green, they start to stack back up. It looks... Brock chooses to start on the high side. William Mann Jr., James Harris, and Christian Wilcox all right there together still. So those 3 working together extremely well tonight. Kevin Kerchar working his way back up after that early incident. He's there in the 91 on the high side. He is currently in 10th. Just under 30 laps to go here. And you also heard Brock said he took tires on that first stop. He won't need to take them again. I'm guessing based on some of these times, everybody, a group of them are actually taking tires on every stop. Kevin Ward took tires on that stop, as did Harley Barletta. Robert Wynn Sr. and Jr. both taking tires. Josh Cadill, Derek Wynn, and Sheldon Pearson all taking tires on this last stop as well as fuel. Green flag back in the air. Stephen Madden on the bottom. Brock Whitehead staying up top, looking to slide in behind Madden here. Will he get the opportunity? And watching to see if anybody makes a run to the front here, as a lot of guys really squirrely coming up to speed. And we might get a run of 3 wide. Kevin Kerchar looks to the middle, backs out of it. Harley Barletta and AJ Godsey reconnected on the high side. Further back in the field, Robert Wynn Jr. and Robert Wynn Sr. have not gotten single file again. They are on that back of that inside line of the front pack. Right behind them, Josh Cadill and Trey Whitehead side by side. Behind them, Sheldon Pearson, Kevin Ward, and Kevin Kerchar hanging out on the back this time. Trying to avoid problems, William Mann has managed to slip his way to the lead. He's got some help from the 19 right behind him, Stephen Madden. Brock Whitehead still maintains the lead out of turn 2. They're swapping places literally every corner. And a lot of movement, a lot of guys changing lines every chance they get, trying to find any momentum they can. Out of turn 2, full speed down the back straightaway. Now, does anybody make a move this time? Harley Barletta looking like he might go to the middle there. Brock Whitehead gets some help from Richard Fornshell up on the high side. Fornshell has been hanging out in the top 5 all night. Stephen Madden has picked up a lot of spots too, down there on the bottom in 3rd. He started back in 11th place and has continued to work his way towards the front. Down the back straightaway again, and a lot of these guys looking to see. First car on fresh tires right there, the Kodak car of Harley Barletta. Slips by and jumps up a couple of positions at outside lines. Got a run coming off of turn 4. Brock Whitehead said he did not want to be in the lead the whole time, and it looks like, at least for the moment, he is out front. He desperately needs to get in line, but he does not want to go that far back. He needs to save some fuel. He is one of the 3 that did not stop. He's going to try and make this work. And here comes Harley Barletta up the middle. William Mann Jr. moves up, can't block him, and he's got a run straight up the middle. They're going to be 3 wide into 3. There's a little bit of a bump. The 22's in the wall. We've got cars up in the wall. Caution is out. And it looks like Robert Wynn Sr. gets caught in this mess as well. Looks like Christian Wilcox is where this starts as they go 3 wide into turn 3. Christian Wilcox gets a little bump, sent up the track. James Harris involved as well. James ends up going up the track. 2 guys that are teammates both end up hard in the wall. Christian manages to land it. He does get to pit road. Robert Wynn Jr. involved. And oh, it was James Harris in the middle that got bumped up into Christian, and that's where all the chaos started. Definitely not what James wanted. His first race back in a while, but he will get on pit road and get some repairs. Stephen Madden is on pit road. Trey Whitehead, but Brock Whitehead is staying out. Stephen Madden, James Harris, Kevin Kerchar, Trey Whitehead, Josh Cadill, Kevin Ward, Sheldon Pearson, and Robert Wynn Sr. all on pit road. Looks like Robert Wynn Jr. stayed out. Thought he might have caught a little bit of that as he went through the grass. No, he is going to come to pit road. Christian Wilcox looks like he has been to pit road and gotten repairs, so he is coming back out. William Mann Jr. continuing to lead. Brock Whitehead in second. Harley Barnett third. Richard Fornshell up to fourth now. Jonathan Diamond up to fifth. He started back in 15th, just working his way wisely through the pack and managing to avoid a lot of chaos there in that 15. Of course, he was involved in the 39. Let's see. Jonathan Diamond, this is Doug. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man. A steady climb to the top. You started in 15th, and now you're up to 5th.
Yeah, I've just somehow been staying out of trouble. I got both my fast repairs. I'm feeling pretty good about myself right now.
Well, you definitely are going to have the advantage with those two fast repairs left to go with the way things are going to be going here. Are you just going to hang to the bottom like you have been and continue working your way up?
For now, I'd like to just keep it cool for the next 10 laps and then maybe try the high side if I can get an opening. But right now, we're thinking about if we need a pit again because it's going to be kind of close.
Well, it's definitely going to be close for a few guys, but hopefully you'll have enough fuel and make it to the end, bud.
All right, thank you.
All right, Jonathan Diamond definitely having a bit of luck staying out of trouble and looking forward to seeing if he can get his way up into the win. So it's going to be William Mann Jr. and Brock Whitehead. Remember, Brock has not been to pit road the last couple of cautions. His last time on pit road was lap 13. Most of these guys lap 19. Most of the guys in the top 8 from 9th on back just now went to pit road. So these guys, they know they can make it. The guys up at the front who have not pitted, like Brock Whitehead and Jonathan Diamond, it's going to be really, really close, but they've got to be loving these caution laps. They are saving a lot of fuel there. William Mann Jr. starting out front, Brock Whitehead on the top. Harley Barletta and Richard Fornshell in the second row. Jonathan Diamond and A.J. Godsey on the third row. Garth Snyder, Derek Wynn on the fourth row. Stephen Madden and Kevin Ward rounding out the top 10. Kevin Kerchar has recovered up to 11th and is still in the fight. Pace car is in. Green flag back in the air. William Mann Jr. gets a good start, gets a nose just ahead of Brock Whitehead here. Brock trying to drop low and get a little side draft as they come up to speed, and it looks like William Mann is getting a little bit of help from Harley Barletta. Harley staying right on the back bumper, trying to push him clear. Down the back straightaway, a couple of guys almost getting into the outside wall, pushing it so hard off of turn 2. And that outside line moves ahead down the back straightaway. But the inside line makes the comeback out of the turn. As we mentioned, that high line is the best line for the straightaways. With that bottom line, shortest way around the corner, you always make up ground. If you go to the high line, you have to make sure you have the momentum to get around. 19 laps to go. Brock Whitehead still getting some help up there on the high side. He is one that is close on fuel. He has the opportunity now to drop down. Will he jump down to the bottom this time? Getting help from Richard Fornshell up on the high side, and they were clear, but William Mann has managed to, with a little help from Harley Barletta, get back to the inside. Brock Whitehead missing his opportunity to drop to the bottom there. Back down the back straightaway, and you can see they're just starting to fan out. That top line staying more single file as here comes Derek Wynn up the middle. He's struggling. Manages to hold on to it, but that was close. He was bobbling all over the place. These cars have a lot less downforce than the Cup cars, and it does mean you can affect somebody with aerodynamics. He gets down into the middle and gets between the cars, just upset the car dramatically. Back down the back straightaway they go, and this front group of 7 cars opening up a little bit of a gap. They're 3 wide on the back straightaway, off into turn 3. The 88 backs out of it. That's Garth Snyder. Drops in behind Kevin Kerchar. And we've got one car. That is Kevin Ward. He is still within draft range, barely, trying to hang on to this pack, but he might be in the safest place right now the way things are going up here. Derek Wynn managing to save that car after that extremely powerful move earlier on, and then trying to go up the middle. Here comes Kevin Kerchar. He's going to look up the middle again. And he has got one heck of a run up the middle. He's using the side draft off the leaders, off into turn 3, 3 wide. He manages to clear. He gets past Harley Barletta, jumps down to the bottom line. Kerchar to the lead. And what a run Kevin Kerchar has coming out of the turn. Manages to make it work all the way down the back straightaway. And now everybody has seen him do that. Jump from 10th place to the lead in half of a lap. How long before we see the next guy make that move? And who is the next guy to make that move? With 15 laps to go, they know they can do it, but it's probably better to wait till 5 to go. You don't have to block nearly as long. Everybody staying 2 wide. Christian Wilcox dropping to the bottom. He is trying to make his way back up to his teammate, James Harris, currently in 8th. William Mann Jr. starting to drift back a little bit. He is now back to 5th. Brock Whitehead back to the lead. Here comes the move from Fornshell. Fornshell jump. Oh, we've got a car in the wall on the back straightaway. Caution. And it looks like it might be Sheldon Pearson again. Let's try and see. Several cars involved. Pearson getting the worst, or the 24 getting the worst of it here. see if we can back it up just a little bit and see what started this. And it looks like it might have started with Derek Wynn. Somebody tried to bump draft, and it did not work. Off into turn 3. Cars pile up, all up behind him. And a lot of tore up race cars now. So it's Richard Fornshell currently in the lead, Brock Whitehead in second, William Mann Jr. in third, and these guys that were close on fuel don't have to worry about it anymore. 13 laps to go. These pace laps are going to help, and they should be able to save enough fuel here to make this work. How many come to pit road, though? Fornshell stays out. The top 3 stay out. First car to pit road is Garth Snyder. Everybody behind him is going to come. Stephen Madden, Trey Whitehead. Most of these guys have some damage. Derek Wynn, Kevin Ward, Robert Wynn Jr., Robert Wynn Sr., Sheldon Pearson, Christian Wilcox, and Josh Cadill, who just took the brunt of that incident. I think about half the field just piled into the side of the 24 car. And Fornshell gets the cone. Hey, Fornshell, this is Doug. You got me?
I got you.
Hey, good job with the cone. It's still on the nose of your car.
Awesome. I'm glad we see the same thing.
That was a power move. You'd been helping Brock all along, and suddenly jumping down and taking the lead there.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you can push in these cars. You can bump draft. You just got to be very careful about it. But the thing is, being up on the outside, like, push, but as soon as you get to the corner, the inside catches up. And honestly, I told Brock too, like, I was kind of tired of doing that and then falling back behind the 2 guys. So I told myself next time I actually get in front of them, I'm jumping down. And it just happened to be right before everybody else wrecked. So.
Well, it was definitely a great move, a well-timed move, and you're one of the guys that has stayed out for a while. Are you going to be able to make it on fuel now with this caution?
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely good. I pit earlier, and then a couple cautions ago, I topped off. So yeah, I'm more than good.
All right, man. Well, good luck. You lost the cone, but you got the lead, so good luck.
Appreciate it. Take care.
All right, now wait just a minute, because Fornshell is going to come back and get the cone again. I guarantee it. Nope, he's going to go up and, as they stack up, it looks like Fornshell choosing to restart on the high side. We've seen everybody that was in first, as they get the 1 to green, everybody has restarted on the high side. Kind of an unusual strategy for Daytona, but hey, it has been working out so far, and if he gets a little bit of help from Harley Barletta, who is right behind him, he might still be able to get back down to the bottom. Richard Fornshell and Brock Whitehead on the front row. Harley Barletta, William Mann on the second row. Kevin Kerchar, James Harris on the third row. AJ Gotze, Jonathan Diamond on the fourth row. Sheldon Pearson and Garth Snyder rounding out the top 10. Then it's Stephen Madden, Derek Wynn, Christian Wilcox, Josh Cadill, and Robert Wynn Jr. in the 15th. Trey Whitehead, Robert Wynn Sr., and Kevin Ward rounding out the 18-car field. Pace car is in. Green flag back in the air. They'll have 10 to go at the line. Fornshell gets an awesome restart. He is down and away. Expect him to drop to the bottom. There he goes. Harley Barletta comes with him. And the front part of the field, the front 5 cars go single file, not for long, as the 29 of William Mann Jr. drops to the bottom. Kevin Kerchar right there with him. And now Harley Barletta on the high side, trying to make something happen a little bit, getting a little bit crazy. Back behind, oh, Kevin Kerchar gets turned around with William Mann. And that is the big one. They took out a bunch of cars. Let's see if we can see what happened there. Other than utter chaos as they and it looks like Kevin might have came down just a little bit and got turned by the 29. And then they started bouncing off of each other. The 24 taking a heavy hit again. Looking to see several cars duck down onto pit, or got down low, trying to avoid it. The Twisted Tea car of Sheldon Pearson got hit hard. Trey Whitehead, great evasive driving. Sheldon Pearson ended up having to tow to pit road. His damage was severe. And now Harley Barletta in the lead. Richard Fornshell in second. James Harris third. Brock Whitehead fourth. AJ Godsey is in fifth. Stephen Madden sixth. Trey Whitehead seventh. Kevin Kerchar is eighth. Kevin Ward is ninth. And Robert Wynn Jr. is in 10th. Robert Wynn Sr. 11th, Garth Snyder 12th, Jonathan Diamond 13th. But here they come down pit road, all the cars that were involved in that. And more. AJ Godsey comes down pit road. I do not believe he was involved in that. He was not. He's going to come down to top off. Trey Whitehead got a little bit of it. He's coming in for repairs. Kevin Kerchar got a bit. Josh Cadill got a bit, and looks like Josh might have stayed out. Nope, he came down pit road last time, so he did not go in this time after all. William Mann Jr. trying to limp it back to pit road. Looks like that engine may be dead. The 53 of Christian Wilcox, his teammate, helping push him back to pit road. Hopefully he can get in and get some repairs. And as per always, Richard Fornshell had the cone, but he lost it. Now it's Harley Barletta up front with Richard Fornshell and William Mann dropping into the chat. Shouldn't you be getting your car repaired there, buddy? As he gets pushed. You shouldn't be texting and driving, William. Just saying, as he gets pushed to pit road, still trying to limp that car in and get a repair. He gets his help, ducks off as he's got enough momentum now. Hopefully he'll be able to make it and limp that car to pit road into his pit stall. Hopefully he hits his pit stall perfectly because he does not have the power to get it. He does. He is on pit road and gets repaired. So the guy that's been up front almost the entire race, it looks like he might actually have lost a lap on that exchange as they stack back up, so he will not have the opportunity to wave around. Not going to be very many laps. Not going to be a lot of laps left in this one. We'll see if William Mann gets lucky. Another caution. He could get the lucky dog, get back around. But meanwhile, Fornshell and Barletta up front. William Mann say, hang on, my sim rig is coming. He's going to be up at the front in a minute. Currently in 17th, 1 lap down. Sheldon Pearson still on pit road. He may be done for the evening after being caught in several incidents, and rough night for Pearson. Pace car getting ready to drop off, and they will go green, hopefully for the final time. But expect this restart to be a lot more chaotic. Everybody's going to be going for everything they can get. Pace car is in. Green flag back in the air. Harley Barletta restarting, gets a great start. Brock Whitehead stays with him. They clear the bottom line. Will they drop low now? And here comes AJ Godsey on the high line. The 3 cars up front managed to break away for the moment. They've got to get to the bottom and get hooked up. Back behind them, a lot of bumping and banging as Kevin Kerchar is starting to make his way forward. I said it earlier in the race. These restarts, great opportunity to gain some positions, but a great opportunity to have some incidents as here comes some power moves from behind. As James Harris drives past everybody on the bottom, it'll be Harris to the lead. He's got help from AJ Godsey on the bottom, and here comes the rest of the pack, finally getting up to speed. Bottom line has the advantage, more cars right now. Not for long though, as the 24 jumps to the high side. Great to see the 24 up there after everything he has been through tonight, but right now it is James Harris in the lead. Down the back straightaway, side by side, nose to tail. This might come down to who in the front row has the better guy pushing him. Out of turn 4, it'll be 4 laps to go. A lot of guys starting to look around. Derek Wynn was looking up the middle there for a moment. Will he make a move? We've seen him charge through the field tonight. We've also seen Kerchar come flying through the field tonight. And a lot of movement as they come down the back straightaway. Everybody staying single file for the moment. Harley Barletta's got the nose ahead. Cannot get clear. James Harris jumps up to get the side draft, and Harley loses the 22. Brock Whitehead trying to make it 3 wide on the outside. James Harris has a lot more push on the bottom. He clears. AJ Godsey's with him. Bottom line starting to make their way forward. 3 wide all the way back behind. A little bobble out of the 112. Kevin Ward manages to hang on to it. Now they're back to 2 wide. Is it too late though? James Harris has a bit of a lead. AJ Godsey's clear on the high side if he makes a run. And here comes Kerchar. And any one of these guys on the lead lap, still in the draft, still has a chance with 2 laps to go. It is anybody's race here. We saw Kerchar come from 10th all the way to the lead in a single lap earlier. Could we see somebody come from further back in a single lap? The 24 had drifted back a little bit. He is now trying to make his way up the middle. The hole in the middle closes. He couldn't make a move yet. And now look. It's Fornshell trying to make it 3 wide down the back straightaway. Fornshell up the middle trying to pick up some positions. It's 3 wide right behind him, 2 wide all the way in front of him. He can't find a hole. White flag in the air for James Harris. Can he block enough here? It's 3 wide right behind him. Harley Barletta gets a nose ahead, but into turn 1. We're 4 wide back behind. They're crashing back behind. Everybody crashed behind James. James Harris comes out of turn 2 alone. Down the back straightaway, Robert Wynn cleared everybody. He made it through. He is in second, but he is too far back to do anything about it. Stephen Madden slips by AJ Godsey for third, but here comes out of turn number 4 and down to the start-finish line. James Harris wins after a wild, wild final lap. All right, we're going to try and figure out what happened there. It looks like whatever happened up in front of him. Let's try and take this a little. It looks like the 22 may have bobbled there. Did Brock Whitehead get a little bit of a push into that corner? He did. The foreign shell had a run, gets into the 22. Pushes the 22 up into the 5. The 5 turns up into the 81, and chaos ensues. And let's, first off, while we're watching this unfold, let's see if we can get what I am sure is a very happy, happy winner. Hey, James, this is Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug.
So I have to ask, your first race back, your first win, you get a win in your first race back, but when you came out of turn 2 and saw everything happening behind you, was it a sigh of relief?
Yes, it was, man. I was like, I won this sucker. I didn't see nobody else in my mirror after that. So I knew I had it, man.
Man, they fell off as soon as you were in the middle of the back straight away. I watched the time. It went from 2 seconds to 4 seconds, and I think you finished with an 8-second lead over Robert Wynn, and Stephen Madden comes in third.
That's nuts. 8-second lead at Daytona. But hey, it is what it is. The high side could get a good run off the corner, but the low line usually got a little bit better run off of 4. And I believe the 3 laps previous to the last lap, I beat Harley to the line. So I had a good feeling about it anyway, but I figured somebody was going to try to go 3 wide on that last lap, and they didn't disappoint.
Well, you can definitely think a 3 wide, but more along the lines of a 4 wide is what happened.
Awesome. That was probably the most fun I've had in weeks, and after what I've been through lately, man, winning or not, that was just, it was good to get back in the rig and get behind the wheel of a sim race car and have some fun with my boys, and I'm feeling normal again after this.
Well, you definitely earned it tonight. That was a great finish, and congratulations, buddy.
10-4, thank you, Doug.
All right, let's see. I don't believe Robert Wynn is not available. Let's see if Stephen Madden is muted. All right, let's, I may regret this one, but we're going to try and talk to Foreign Shell. Hey, Foreign Shell, this is Doug. You got me?
I got you.
Hey, little bit of a wild one there at the end.
So fun fact, if you were not aware, if you have a blue cone stuck to your hood, that apparently impacts your ability to go fast. Because that last restart, I still had it on my hood, and I'm sure you saw me drop like a rock.
Well, it looked like you were starting to make your way back through the field there when all heck broke loose.
Yeah, we came around, 2 to go, and I was in the back there and started getting a little bit aggressive, and then went up the middle, made some moves, and then just going through 1 and 2. I thought I had a little bit more space in front of me to Brock, and I didn't. So Yeah, unfortunate, but I think we all, we're having fun.
It definitely was entertaining. We watched a little bit of it in slow mo, and it was definitely a fun way to end. And I guess you really can't complain if James pulls off the win tonight.
Yeah, it's good to have him back, and I'm glad for him that he's feeling good enough to get back in the rig now.
All right, man. Well, you come home with an 8th place finish despite all the chaos. It's got to be at least a decent start to the season.
Oh yeah, I mean top 10.
All right, man. Congrats, buddy.
Thanks. Take care.
All right. Well, that'll bring a close to tonight's festivities. Definitely an interesting situation in both races. You see BRR Cup Series go an entire race with no caution, and then you see on the last lap a guy at Daytona winning by over 8 seconds, something that has not happened since the 80s. So definitely awesome night. Congratulations to James Harris for pulling off the win here tonight. It's great to see him back on track, and look forward to many more to come. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night for the Outlaw Dirt doubleheader, and you can check out the website htsai.net and see all of our broadcast schedules and everything to come and so much more. Make sure you follow us on Facebook for all the big announcements. Thank you guys so much, and have a great evening.